Hello folks and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It gives me great pleasure today to be showing a preview sort of beta version of Just Flight's brand new PA-28R Turbo Arrow. Now, I mean, just look at her. She looks absolutely beautiful. First introduced, I think, in 1977, the Arrow 3. This is actually the T-tail version, which was introduced in 1979. And as by the name, bit of a clue, that cowling there houses a 6-cylinder turbocharged engine, and the killer feature, shall I say, of this release is that you can break that engine pretty spectacularly if you want to. You've got to look after her, and I think they have completely reworked the sort of engine physics and just the simulation of basically the whole entire engine. And that is no mean feat, guys. And you know what? I said this in the very first preview I did for the standard Arrow, that Just Flight are the leaders right now for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm not talking about other sims, but for this sim, they are the leaders for what is possible right now. And it's things like the engine modelling and the maintenance side, making sure that you've got enough oil. You know, the fact that it remembers everything that you do with this aircraft, and the wear and tear brings about a certain realism and reward that other aircraft cannot compete with. But anyway, let's just have a look, because I actually bought this aircraft for X-Plane 11 many years ago, and I'll put a few screenshots if I have them still of this aircraft, because I flew it around Europe, I flew it around the UK in VR, this very version in fact, with the T-tail and the OK Man sort of funny code there, which is real, by the way. These are not fictional, these are real aircraft. So if you know, just look at the aesthetics for a moment, because you know that's really important as well. And I mean, just look at this bird. I do honestly, genuinely feel that Just Flight have really upped their game in terms of the sort of 3D modelling, the 4K textures and the PBR work. I mean, look at the rivets there, the reflections, I guess the engine struts, the exhaust, everything looks a bit dirty, a bit grimy, but not overly done like that, you know, like some aircraft. This is just a work of art. I mean, it just looks amazing. I'm trying to get as close as I possibly can. The sim won't let me get any closer than that, but I mean, really, you get the idea here. It's just exquisite. It's beautifully modelled. Look at that shine there on the wing. Everything is 3D, like you can see there. Sort of the fuel cap. In fact, even the panels, you can see slight ripples. Absolutely beautiful modelling there. And if you, by the way, own the standard Arrow, you get a massive discount on this. I think it works out about 10 quid or something to, I guess, upgrade to the more powerful turbo version. So it's really a no-brainer. But really, I want to see what this bird is like. Does it stand up to the usual quality that Just Flight are now known for? So I think it's time to have a look inside the aircraft. We are going to be flying this in VR, by the way. We're currently at Headcorn, and we're going to be flying to Lydd, just on the south coast of the UK. But first of all, let's have a look inside here. And I think really everything I've just said extends to the interior modelling. Oh my word. Now, I know many people did complain about the first release of the standard Arrow, and that the texture work was a little bit low resolution. Well, you can see here, I am going to go crazy close. Look at this. I can't get any closer than that. That's insane. And no texture I can see there has degraded. It looks exactly like a photograph, quite honestly. Look at that, the fuel pressure gauge there, all of the sort of notices, the switches, which all will be bespoke. That's one thing Just Flight are very famous for, among other things as well, with the Arrow, is that all of the switches, every single switch, has its own sound. Oh my god. Listen to this. Oh, that's just beautiful. Working fuses as well, which we have not seen in other aircraft. Oh my god, I could just do a whole video of this. Listen to those sounds. Oh, the squeaking there. Yeah, you get the idea. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's just open the door. So yeah, this I've been eagerly awaiting this aircraft because there's quite a number of flights that I want to do, particularly around Scotland, where I need that extra power of that 6-cylinder engine. So this is going to be perfect. Now, just to show you the EFB, which is now standard with the Just Flight aircraft for this sim, which is great to see. All works in VR perfectly. Now, if you look at this, we've got the maintenance. We're going to click that, and look at this. We've got the engine damage, which is quite scary actually, but also very exciting, because that means you're going to have to really pay attention to how you look after this aircraft. Of course, you can refuel the oil, recharge the battery, make sure it's primed correctly. You've got a variety of options with the GPS, just like the original Arrow, chocks and tie downs, tow bar, all that good stuff. Now, because this is a preview version, guys, I'm not going to be completely in depth with this particular video, but to be honest, I have been flying it around now for, just a couple of hours I've had with it, and it feels ready. It feels ready for prime time already, if I'm honest. But there's just a few things, because they're such perfectionists, there's a few tweaks here and there that they want to get sorted before it goes on sale, hopefully very, very soon indeed. But yeah, what a beauty. Now, what I'm going to do now, guys, is, you'll be pleased to know, I'm going to now jump into VR, because I'm very interested to see how this feels in VR. And we're going to take this for a spin from Headcorn out to Lydd, and I'll see you in a moment in the Quest 2. So welcome back. We are now in VR, and let me tell you, everything I've just said about the 3D appearance of the texture work is just amplified in VR, because I'm actually sat what feels like to be inside a real Turbo Arrow. And you know what? It's when you're inside in VR like this that you can really inspect the sort of interior modelling, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous in here. I must confess that I've been sat here for about 10-15 minutes, even before I decided to record anything, just because I wanted to just experience the whole feeling of being in this incredible aircraft, and it has not disappointed. Put it that way. Anyway, let's get this bird started, and I'll just tell you a few great things that they've learned from the sort of standard Arrow in terms of the VR implementation. I'm pleased to tell you that the zoom works perfectly, and the 2D mouse sits perfectly on top of the buttons. There's no sort of squinting and closing one eye and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the battery's on. We're going to prime the engine. We're not going to do a full-on, in-depth kind of start. I'm going to start this from cold and dark, but I'm not reviewing this aircraft, guys. This is just a preview version, so I'm going to treat it like that. But having said that, though, it does feel very polished. Right then, with that being said, let's just zoom in here. I love that zoom. Take the chocks off, tie downs, and make sure the battery, yeah, that's okay. We're going to now shout clear prop out this window like an idiot. Clear prop, here we go. I can't wait to hear what these sound like. This engine, here we go. Oh my. She sounds like a serious bit of kit, this. Look at that, she's restrained on a parking brake there, raring to go. That engine sounds very different. Okay then, so I think we're ready to taxi, guys. Making sure that the T's and P's are all going to be heading into the green, because I've got to approach the way I fly this aircraft differently from any other bird, simply because if I, do anything wrong, if I don't respect that engine, and look where I'm going while I'm at it, things will break. Oh yeah, if any of you are wondering, you've already got the standard Arrow, is it worth buying, yet another Arrow for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Well, this feels very different than the standard Arrow. There's something quite serious about it. It's a little bit more, a little bit more going on with that 6-cylinder supercharged engine, and the fact that they've simulated it so well. So what we'll do is we'll just use this runway here, but we'll just go off the side here and do a bit of a run up. Oh, this is so nice in VR, guys. So good. Here we go then. Manifold pressure coming up, RPM coming up. Whoa, there's a bit of a lag as well, which is interesting. That's very realistic. Right, left mag. Both. Bit of a drop there. Same again on the right one. Yep. Back to both. And then we'll just cycle the prop once. Oh, she's got a beautiful throaty sound. Make sure the alternator's on. Fuel pump coming on and landing light coming on. Right, flaps down. We'll stow the EFB tablet, which you can do by doing that. Switching it off and then stowing it by clicking that button there, which is very cool. I think we're ready for our first departure out of Headcorn, guys. Very excited, but also a little bit tentative, a little bit nervous. And if an aircraft, I always say, if an aircraft makes me feel like that, then they've done things correctly. Right, here we go then. Now, ready, we're almost ready to reach for the skies. That's incredible. Wow, this has got a lot more power than the standard Arrow. I reckon we've taken off in half the time. Half the length of that runway. Gear coming up. Saying goodbye there to Headcorn. Bringing back the manifold pressure and the RPM. And we're going to head south until we reach Lydd. That engine. You know, this is incredible because actually the F-mod sounds are not even done yet. They're not even finalised. And Scott will know, if you're watching this, that I did moan at him a little bit about the standard Arrow. I was kind of like, it doesn't quite sound right, there's an issue there and there's an issue here, because I am very picky when it comes to the sounds. I think that's such an important aspect of the experience. But for this one, considering it's in such an early stage as well, sort of a beta stage, honestly, they sound brilliant already, and it's not even fully finished yet. That's remarkable. Hear the rush there, the sound of the wind over the wing. Right, anyway, we'll put the landing light off, fuel pump can come off. And I'm not going to do any sort of general handling tests yet, because simply, this is not a review, guys. I want to make sure you realise that this is just a preview look. My full in-depth review of this bird will be coming once it's released. So I'm putting the yoke on purpose here, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim this aircraft up, because I want to see what it feels like. Because, as I say, I've got many hours in the X-Plane 11 version, and one thing I found with that aircraft was a little bit twitchy at times, but this, okay, I'm now completely hands-off. And she is, yeah, very, very stable indeed. That's remarkable. That's really... She flies very nice, very fluid. And I don't know, I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but I have a feeling that developers, you know, they're going to have to work a bit harder in Microsoft Flight Simulator to get the flight modelling as good as it would be in X-Plane 11. But this feels every bit as, what's the word, high fidelity, I guess, as the X-Plane variant. But also you get all the other good stuff, like the engine simulation, the maintenance, the wear and tear, and the incredible, beautiful texture work of a modern engine that's in this sim. And in VR, it's sublime. Oh, it's great to be reacquainted with an aircraft I've flown a lot. That T-tail design is a winner in my opinion. Oh, I should have put the camera on so you can see my face. I'm literally smiling my head off right now. Right, anyway, getting distracted here. I think Lydd's over there, so we'll just... this is going to be a bit of a short flight over there. This feels incredibly polished, considering there's a lot of work left to do. But having said that, I don't think it's going to be very long before this is going to be in your hands, so That is good news. You know, the amount of work that goes into an aircraft like this, it's a no-brainer. You know, if you're on the fence, I would honestly, I'm trying not to review this aircraft, okay? I'm trying not to. But I have to say, I am falling in love right now. And I would highly recommend, even in this state right now, which it can't be that far off release, feels very, very polished. Something that I've always noticed about the Just Flight aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator is the FPS, the frame rate, is exceptional. I actually get about 5 frames per second more in this than I do the standard 172, would you believe? Which is a bit crazy considering all the coding that's going on in the background. At the moment it's measuring and simulating, making sure that I am flying this aircraft correctly. And with all that going on in the background, it's incredibly well optimised for VR. Right, we'll just change tanks so. Make sure we've got the fuel pump on. Fuel pressure, we can zoom in there. Sorry, it's that side I think. Yeah, there we go. Oil temperature, pressure, all good. Move to the right hand tank. Pressure is still good. Fuel pump off. And we'll put our landing light on. Look at these clicks and sounds. Oh, it's beautiful. Now, just to let you guys know that even though we're in VR, I'm using the stabilization feature of the Oculus mirror. So please let me know if you like it or not. It kind of smooths out all of the jerkiness and, you know, the motion and movement on my head, which can be accentuated when looking at, you know, sort of a mirror in VR. So please let me know if this looks any better, and I'll start using this setup a bit more often. What a beautiful looking aircraft. I have to say, I am very impressed. Look at that wing there in VR. My God, it looks so damn real. Right then, let's concentrate, because I can see the runway there. Making sure the T's and P's are all correct. Really being tentative how I fly this aircraft. And you know, you don't tend to do that. I mean, if an aircraft doesn't model these sorts of things, you are a little bit lazy. You can't get away with that with this aircraft. You can, by the way, switch all that off if you want to, which I think is very cool as well. But for me, I think those kind of simulated features really bring the sim, you know, just brings a whole new level of immersion. Right, slowing down now. Prop fully forward. Now, because of the simulation of that turbo engine, you can, I'd imagine, I don't really know all the physics behind it, but if I cut the power too much, that could damage it as much as full power, you know, and sort of overheating it. Okay, we'll put the gear down now. Very nice animation there. And we'll perform our very first landing with the turbo arrow. One of many, I'd imagine. Flaps coming in now. Wow, can you see that, guys? You can actually see the smoke from the exhaust there. That's a new feature, I like that. A little bit disconcerting. But I do like that. That's very cool. Yeah, this feels incredibly refined. Anyway, let's just focus now on this landing. The very first, no doubt, of many with the turbo arrow. I can't wait to bring you the full in-depth review once she's released. Here we go. A little bit fast, but we can float a bit here. Oh, this feels very fluid. There we go. She's on the deck. A tad firmer than I'd like, but that's okay. Right, we'll do a bit of a backtrack. So guys, please let me know in the comments, are you interested in the turbo arrow? I have to say, hand on heart, I cannot recommend this bird enough. Oh, listen to those sounds, absolutely gorgeous. Even though I'm in the Quest, I'm actually using some very nice headphones because I really want to hear what this bird sounds like, and I have used this in the Reverb G2, and yeah, she sounds beautiful. I'm kind of tempted to go outside because I'm on Airlink and see if I can sort of walk around the aircraft, but I just don't have enough room where I'm at the moment. But that's my first look at this beautiful aircraft by Just Flight. A massive congratulations to the team. This has been a really easy one to review because it's just very, very polished. It's just nothing I don't like about it, really. I think even for this early stage as well. So yeah, massive win here where we're going to park. This is, by the way, Lydd by Burning Blue Designs. Very nice. I visit this place quite a lot in the sim. Never been here in real life. And there we have it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. There'll be plenty more of this bird coming, as you'd imagine. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye for now. What a beauty.